Right, welcome back, Rachel Yellen, to today's yoga question. You are a birth enthusiast, former doula, multi-decade yogi, teacher, audio creator, live online course creator, workshop giver, traveler, beauty, soul. Today I want to talk to you about, there seems like there's a core thread in your teaching, which is about joy. Which I love. I'm very attracted to. I think we are here for a short period of time, and joy is a big part of what I want to create in my lifespan. So I saw on your website, rachelyellen.com, you describe yourself as, quote, someone whose purpose in life is to bring joy to people giving birth. And I had frankly never heard those two words in the same sentence before. Joy and birth. So what role for you in your teaching and in your work, it's really a calling, it seems like, from you. What role does joy play in birth, or can it play?
It's funny, my first response is to say, Lizzie, it's everything. If a woman births from joy, even in the context of discomfort or, some challenges, if she weaves joy into it, it makes the experience one that is so empowering, transformative. And I mean, think about what that's like for the baby. Most women are giving birth from this place of fear. And when you weave joy and connection and intention into the birthing, imagine what that's like for the baby. And I really want for women who are thinking about getting pregnant, who are currently pregnant, who are recovering from pregnancy, to really consider what is the imprint that's being created. And if you can imagine, many women do prioritize happiness and health and joy during their pregnancy. They try their best to try to stay calm, have a loving relationship, create a warm, loving home. And then they go into labor and they're terrified. They're screaming, they're clenching, they're tensing. And the baby is a conscious being. The baby feels everything that the mother feels. So can you imagine the mother's like, clenching and screaming, and the baby's like, what the hell is going on up there?
Yeah.
And, right? And the mother's body is contracted, and it makes it, then the uterus has to work harder. But if the mother is smiling, even fake smiling, fake it till you make it. We know that works, right? Even now, if everyone who's watching, you just go and you hold it, and you hold it, and you hold it, you're going to start to smile authentically. And when you smile, you create endorphins. So I love the work around the focus, and I want to say the work, but the practice of pleasure during pregnancy. Deborah Pascali Bonaro of Orgasmic Birth teaches that in your pregnancy, have 10 things a day that give you pleasure. Train yourself to move in the direction of pleasure. Pleasure can be like, ooh, I got a chair underneath me. I'm not on the ground. Awesome. Right? Pleasure can be, I can feel my hair on the back of my neck when I move my head. And it's like, oh, maybe somebody's not touching me, but I have this sensation of my hair on my body, and I really like that. Right? I take that piece of I made roasted Brussels sprouts this morning and roasted delicata squash, and the warmth and the texture, such pleasure. I could shove it in my face and move along and get some nutrients and hurry up, but I can pause for 2 extra seconds and just go, and make the sound, So we're looking for ways to train yourself to have pleasure during pregnancy, to move in the direction of pleasure. And I want to be really clear that there are many, many women who experience tremendous pleasure when they are giving birth, pleasure and joy combined. That the sensation of labor, if you've ever been lucky enough to have an orgasm that is so big that it borders on painful, or the orgasm is so big you almost feel like you're gonna pee all over the place. So you can have that during labor. You can be some people call it self-stimulating, some people call it self-soothing, through a woman touching her own body or stimulating her own nipples, or what somebody taught me is called diddle the skittle. Diddle the skittle is stimulating your own clitoris, because the clitoris has 8,000 nerve endings, whereas the penis, I think, only has 3,000, maybe 3,000 or 5,000, I can't remember, but we have so many nerve endings. So we want to create bringing the smile to the face, thinking about how are we supporting the baby as the baby is being born? What message are we giving to the baby? What's the connection between our partner or the people in the birth environment? And how is there a feeling of celebration of a milestone? Like in Judaism, we have, many, many milestones, and the baby namings and the bar mitzvahs and, all of these celebrations. And I know in Catholicism, it's the same way. So we think about all different, not just religions, but cultures have an intention of joy and initiations and celebrations woven throughout their experiences. And those women who are steeped in joyful initiation, transformation, connection have not only a better, healthier, safer birth, but they also have a much better postpartum time. So important, because there's an empowerment, there's a connection, which creates hormones of bonding. And, I could go on about that, but I'll just plant that last seed of it's not just the birth and bringing joy into the birth. It's what does joy bring into the parenting? What does joy bring into the family unit? And how is the family being created from the core value of joy and pleasure and fun even? I've had clients who have given birth who have said, I've had women give birth and say, I could birth a baseball team. I've had women say, I rocked that birth. I have had women literally be like, I am a rock star. Amazing.
Amazing.
Total joy. Yes.
Wow. Okay, I love this. And we are going to get to postpartum in our next episode. I definitely want to ask you about that, because that's such an important, we think so much about the birth. But I've got my phone. I want to pull up a book. I want to show you the cover of this book that I found recently. And it's exactly to the topic that we're talking about. And it was so startling to me that it's called Childbirth Without Fear. And Ina May Gaskin wrote the foreword. And look at this image. It's like she's so ecstatic and beautiful as she's this image for me was so radical and earth-shaking, because I realized I had never seen an image of birth like this that was presented as an experience that the mother could also be having pleasure somehow or joy from the experience.
Yes. Yeah. I really want to encourage everybody who is listening to, whether you're thinking about getting pregnant, where you're already trying to get pregnant, where you're already pregnant, to really hook into this. Because when you start changing your thoughts, and when you start changing your visuals, and when you start speaking to people who've had these orgasmic, transformative, joyful, fill in the blank, when you start steeping yourself in that's how you walk the path from I'm here right now, and over here is this joyful birth that I want to have. And that's how you walk. You talk to people who had great experiences. You look at videos of amazing births. You transform your thoughts. You choose a care provider that it matches your vision. All those things you don't get from here of oh, scary, here, orgasmic, joyful, loving, without doing anything.
Right.
That's why we call it a yoga practice, a meditation practice. It's a birth practice. Mm-hmm. That's what we're doing. There's no guarantees. Just because you do the practices doesn't mean it's going to happen a certain way, but we do those practices to feel more confident, to feel more resourced, to cultivate a sense of I can handle whatever happens.
Thank you so much. Namaste. I'm just yes, this emoji, this hands up. Yes, yeah. This is me right now. I'm loving it. Thank you so much, Rachel. This is fantastic.
So welcome. My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll put all your links in the description below so people can find you. yestobirth.com, rachelyellen.com.
Perfect.